This image was captured recently, about a year ago, and it's a picture of a grape iMac, and yet it looks like a blueberry iMac. So the problem here is that it didn't get the colors right. So the color saturation is fine, but the color response is wrong. The real problem with this image, the tricky problem with this image, is that all the other colors are correct. So it just responded improperly to this purple. Picked it up, just read it as blue. Sometimes happens, different CCDs respond to different colors differently. Press Command or Control U to bring up the hue saturation dialog box. And notice that if I just start in editing the hue value, like I bump it up to +30, which definitely has the effect of changing the blue to purple. I also changed the yellow of the CD holder to chartreuse, which it was not, it was yellow. And notice, maybe even worse, I changed Winnie the Pooh here from sort of an orangish poo to a bright green poo, and that's wrong. So somehow I need to identify just the blues in the image and just change them. So how do we go about switching out the blues to purple? What's the best way to do that? You might say the magic wand tool. Well, I hope you wouldn't say the magic wand tool, because it would be a really bad tool for this job, in my opinion. The color range command, you might say I should select the colors with the color range command, and that would work well. That would actually work just fine. Or I could create a mask, an independent alpha channel. However, I don't need to even leave the hue saturation dialog box, it turns out, because the hue saturation dialog box is capable of making selective color-dependent changes. It's a very, very smart dialog box. So the first thing I'm going to do is press Option or Alt and click Reset in order to reset the hue back to 0. And then I'm going to choose the colors that I want to edit from this edit list. Master means Photoshop is going to edit all the colors. I'm going to choose blues because I just want to change the blues. Now this area down here shows me the range of colors that Photoshop is now set up to edit. This dark bar shows me that these are the colors that will get edited, and these light gray bars show that those are the colors that are in the fuzziness range. So they'll taper off. So these colors won't get changed at all. These colors will get changed completely according to whatever settings I enter, and these colors will taper off gradually. There'll be an incremental fuzziness range. I want to make sure I get the right blues, so I'll move my cursor out into the image window, and notice I get an eyedropper, and I'm going to click just to center that color range that's going to get edited to make sure that I'm editing the right range of colors. And then I'm going to press the Shift key and drag over a few of these blues just to make sure I've got as many blues selected as I need to have selected. And I'm even going to Shift drag across the speaker here. That changed the values slightly. And across the base of the keyboard just to make sure I got everything. Back here, this little stand it's sitting on is also blue. I'm using the hue saturation command in exactly the same way that I'd use the color range command. That is to say, I clicked to set the initial color, and then I shift clicked and shift dragged to add colors to the affected area. And now I'm good to go. Now I'm ready to go. I will select the hue value and press Shift up arrow 3 times in a row to knock the hue value so it's a nice rich purple. This is pretty much the way I recall the grape iMac looking. I'm not positive. I don't have it in front of me. However, the problem with the purple is it's too vivid. It's super saturated purple. The grape iMac is more of a violet color, as I recall. So I'm going to tab down to saturation and take some saturation out of it. Perhaps -20, perhaps as low as -30. Actually, -30 looks quite good to me. And then I'm going to hit Return or Enter. And notice that I just changed the blues in the computer. I didn't change any of the other colors. This is before, this is after. It did a tremendous job. I couldn't have asked for a better job of changing these colors inside the iMac.